Okay, well, everyone, welcome to the third video meditation in living your experiencing your best life. So originally there was going to be a different one for number 3, but I've been guided to give you this one, which is a little bit of conscious information for you. I'm sure you've all seen Russian dolls before. There's dolls within dolls within dolls. And so this meditation is going to be about building your belief system or unbuilding your belief system more appropriately. And you can think of beliefs as programs which have built the avatar in this immortal life. And as you build beliefs, you're building programs and you're creating the life that you're living around that. Now, a lot of these beliefs are actually brought in from conception to 7 years old, and we don't consciously know about them. So every time you go to change your life or do something different, you're often stymied by these unconscious belief patterns of behavior and beliefs and culture that is embedded within your DNA programming. So tonight's meditation is to do a big shift in that, and you can go back and
All the
listen.
parts and aspects of me to come back to me now. Come back.
Whoops, we have um,
Love, light, divine.
so mute. Um, Sorry about that. We just had some interactions with live people, but that's okay. It's all part of the journey. So this meditation is about releasing limiting beliefs and behaviors. So on that note, I'd like you to sit back and relax, close your eyes, take a deep breath in. And as you release it out, feeling that breath going all the way through your body from your head down to your toes, continuing to breathe deeply and normally, but just imagine a set of Russian dolls and continuing to breathe deeply and normally. Imagine that set of Russian dolls is just simply there in front of you, hovering in time and space. And with each breath in, it gets larger and larger. And you're looking at the Russian dolls. So see, some of you have split them out into lots of like little Russian dolls for now, and that's fine. But what I'd like you to focus on is the largest Russian doll, and however you've got them presented to you, is they're all growing proportionally with each in breath and with each out breath until it's approximately the same size and height as you. And as you come into this space, keeping the focus on your Russian doll, just become aware that surrounding you is that golden mist-like energy of pure source. And acknowledge once again that we're outside of this realm in the very center of source, where all creation is possible and where all creation comes from. You're an immortal soul. Your imagination, creativity, and empathy is everything that has been used to create and build your experience in this realm here and now. Become aware also that the shielding is in place, keeping all changes safe and coming in with ease and prosperity. And focusing back on your Russian dolls. Notice too, as you're breathing deeply in and out, within your heart space, there is another tiny set of Russian dolls. This time they're all definitely within inside each other and just glowing and echoing from within your heart space. You may have heard the term before, as above, so below, as within, so without. And this is like all experiences are like Russian dolls. There's the external experience and there's the internal experience. Focusing on these Russian dolls, I'd like you to take imagine taking a step forwards to the one that is external to you. On the next out breath, take another step closer. And they may be far away, they may be very close. But as you reach your Russian doll that's your size, reach out and touch it and feel the cool surface of it. Observe the layerings and the patternings, and what information this Russian doll is telling you about its external, from its external paintings and calligraphy, what it's telling you about you, and feel into your heart space, to the Russian doll that's inside of you. The Russian doll that's inside of you is your pure immortal spirit that has been layered spiritually, mentally, and physically from within this realm, enabling you to believe that what you're experiencing is real, and to give you an experience. So coming and just feel into the belief systems, and you don't have to consciously know what they are, but just feel into the belief system of this most largest Russian doll. And with each breath in and breath out, become aware of the belief systems consciously, subconsciously, superconsciously, and allow them to simply start dissipating. You're simply observing the belief system. There's no right or wrong, because somebody in another culture, in another upbringing to you, has different belief systems, and they are functioning and experiencing this world. So all belief systems that you may or may not have encoded within your DNA, encoded within your avatar, encoded within this experience, are simply just that, coding. So simply observe them and allow them to dissipate. And as they start dissipating, notice and observe this largest Russian doll starting to dissolve into golden light, joining pure source around you. And notice and observe that the Russian doll within your heart space is getting brighter and brighter with a golden glow, perhaps even getting bigger itself. The external Russian doll in your heart space also growing and dissolving as you release with observation all the thoughts and beliefs to do with your outermost layer, your outermost presentation to this realm, your outermost method of experiencing this realm. And as it fully dissolves, notice and observe the next Russian doll, which is slightly smaller, starting to grow larger and larger with each breath you take, until it becomes the size of your avatar and this experience. And notice and observe there's the different colors, different patterns, different artistry on this Russian doll. This is the next layer that you share with perhaps your innermost circle of friends and family. And there are many layers. Traditionally in Russian dolls, there are 7 or 8, depending on what you purchase. However, tonight there will be as many layers as is required for you to release all programming previously encoded into your DNA and experience. So continuing to breathe deeply and normally, observing the patterns of behavior, the cultural implications, and releasing them to the ether. As you release them, notice and observe within your physical body how you may be experiencing tingling. You may be experiencing heat in different parts of your body or your whole body. There's certainly a warmth being generated now as you're releasing and continuing to release each layer upon layer upon layer, using the Russian dolls as an example, as a metaphor, as a frame of reference, to simply releasing or coding in this physical experience into source, releasing it back to source, and noticing, observing, and continuing to do this in your own time. And this process may continue post this session and meditation. However, for now, we're down to the last Russian doll, the very core that was you at conception, when as an immortal soul you decided to have this physical experience in this realm, in this time. This Russian doll doesn't get as large as your avatar, but it does move to the size of a newly born child. And you look down at that pure, innocent, immortal soul that has no experience of this realm apart from the desire to experience it. And look down into the eyes and just feel the corresponding Russian doll in your heart space. Reach out to that young child, that immortal soul, that instant, that where it's just balanced between pure source creation and physicality. And feel the love from your heart space to yourself. Just feel the warmth thrown through your body. And what you may feel now is throughout your body. It's just a cooling sensation, like just release. Just feel into the space of peace in this moment, in this space, in this space between heartbeats, between one heartbeat and the next, between one breath and the next, between one life and the next, between one experience and the next. Just feel into this space between spaces, into the light between light, into breath between the breaths. Feeling into the space, feeling into the potential of the experiences that you desire to have. For this meditation, the first time you don't need conscious desires, just simply the desire to change your path in this realm for something from your frame of reference is more positive, uplifting, and prosperous, and fun and happy, I'm reminded, because this whole experience is about joy, and experiencing. And on this path, the path that you're on, because you have found me through one way or another, this path you're on is all about positively enriching and living and experiencing your best life. So now that you have had some conscious input, is just feel into the space that you are in right now. Yes, you can feel your physical body laying there, relaxed, deeply breathing. However, also feel into the space that you are at source at the point in time of creation. And you're just simply a ball of energy, ball of consciousness, a ball of potential. And around you, you have released in back to source for cleansing, purification, reformatting, recoding, everything that you have experienced and built into your life so far. So now you have the opportunity to start collecting some of those again, knowing that they've been cleansed and cleared and are simply just code. Start building them into life experiences that you would want or what you're expecting to move forwards. You want more abundance? Then build a program of I have all the abundance I require, abundance and wealth I require for everything I need right now. It's a simple coding, but it's an easy one. And just start building it, bringing in everything, better relationships, smoother relationships, open relationships that have great communication and respect. Then just allowing everything else that's not needed fall away. It's back with source. Energy is just energy. It can be used by other people, other immortal beings who desire a different experience, which may or may not be what you have just released. And as you see, finding it building, if you see those layers rebuilding from the smallest Russian doll, building each layer. And some of you may wonder why we still need the layering, and the layering is required because this is the realm that we are in. Foundations upon foundations. As you're bringing it all together, if you happen to pick up something that is not for you, feel into it. If it's not for you at this time and place, simply allow it to release. Or better yet, there's a fire just behind you burning brightly. Just take that coating and push it into the fire. Let it burn, let it be recreated, let it join with source properly. And some of the items that you flow into the fire may just spark and be very pretty. That's transforming them into something that's more useful for you, that can be used in the time and space that's required. Okay, so a lot of you have the fire going and are using it. Thank you. And a lot of you are taking time just building that first Russian doll, recreating, replanning, changing what you have come into this realm to experience, and that's perfectly okay. It's why we've taken you right back to that space between space, that time, that breath between one life and the next life. mortal soul stepping into physical realm. Notice and observe as you're building these Russian dolls, the layering. Each time you build one, it pushes out from your heart space, surrounds the previous one in a glowing ball of light, and starts to solidify. Notice and observe any patterns. Some of you are actually getting messages are being written on each of the layers, and some of you are being given presence to hold within each of the layers. So this means that these are like Easter eggs if any of you follow programming. So Easter eggs will start popping up in your life. Start imagining and walking around in your day-to-day life, imagining that you're walking through a health icon. And your health might be at 80%, but now it goes up to 100%. Imagine, and I'm seeing coins walking around too. So if any of you have ever played any type of game where you can walk through coins and collect a whole heap of money, I'm seeing it as coins. Simply imagine that. So these are Easter eggs. So just start imagining in your day-to-day life as you're walking around, relationships, people of interest, events of interest, all positive and uplifting. Just imagine that you're walking through a space that now gives you that in your baggage, in your handbag to carry around, and that'll pop out and just play out in your life. Expect the unexpected with this rebuilding. And yes, I can see you all. This is rather like painting. Some of you are doing Russian dolls almost like a painting. And this is, you're all painting beautifully different pictures. And as you're doing them, each layer is getting larger and larger, encompassing the layer before. But this time feeling into the layers and just feeling how they work with ease and grace with each other, how information is passed seamlessly and easily between each of the layers, each of the cognitions, all the way down. So you can feel that direct connection with your immortal soul that provides information to you in this realm. As you're walking around, feel that, imagine in the future you're walking around, just feel that open connection with your immortal soul that can direct you to walk a different way, to walk away from something, to participate in a conversation or a communication in a different manner, and just feel how things that used to perhaps annoy you just don't. They're distractions. However, they are no longer, there's no longer any connection to any of your belief systems at any layer, at any level. Now, this is possible because you have full control over your individual experience in this realm. 100%. If you wish others to share in your experience, simply encode that into your experience. That is how you do it. You have 100% control over your experience in this realm. And as you go about your daily life from this point in time onwards, if there's anything you'd like to tweak or change, simply come back and do this session again. Or imagine rechanging it. Or simply as you're going about your daily life, imagine and pretend that the spiritual, eternal source flame is there, just to your side. So simply sweep through all of the layerings of your encoded DNA that present as a physical body with emotions and the mental thought processes and a spiritual perspective. Scrape through all of that and extract all the coding that no longer suits you, that you wish to change and tweak. It doesn't matter if it's just a slight tweak. Scrape, go through. Just take one breath in between one breath and the next. Scan your entire physical, mental, emotional, etheric, and spiritual fields for that which is not working for you in the moment, even, and discard it into the source fire and allow the fire to dissipate in the Russian dolls, the layering on layering to rebuild and reform in the direction of your adjusted new desire. So I can see quite a lot of you are very fascinated by the fire, which is fantastic. It's something that you can use in the moment as you're walking around in your daily life between one breath and the next. A tool to remove, reforge something that is no longer working for you now or in the moment. Now, I will advise you all to make sure that you drink a lot of water, or small sips of water over a long period of time is more specifically what you need to be doing. Just scanning, there's quite a lot of you are on the beach, just very happy to sit and look at this fire, the source of creation, the source of everything that you are, everything that you're experiencing. And once again, just a reminder that your experiences are your creation. You have 100% control over your experiences. And our experiences of this life is often due to unconscious information and layers from past experiences in our life. Okay, so I'm going to leave you all there. You're more than welcome to sit and bask in the source fire. You're more than welcome to look at your shielding, which now, by the way, has several layers added to it. And when you're ready, between one breath and the next, take a deep breath in, and as you release, come down at a source and growing and expanding to fill your physical avatar in this time and space. Have a fantastic night, and I will see you all next week.